welcome you all back to the 12th standard mathematics class. So, in the last class we have seen finding the solution of polynomials with additional information. So, in this subdivision, that is 3.8, in this subdivision we are going to see polynomials with no additional information. We have to solve the polynomial, we have to find the roots, but there will be no additional information will be given. So, we have to find its roots. Let us see how we are going to find. This can be done using trial and error method. Trial and error method. So, what is the method? Suppose a polynomial is given, p of x. So, some polynomial is given. How we can find the root using trial and error method means we are going to substitute the integer. See, what is the root? When we substitute in this polynomial the root, suppose instead of x, suppose alpha is the root of this equation p of x, suppose we substitute alpha, we will get p of alpha will be equal to 0. If this condition is satisfied, we can say alpha as a root. Okay. Now, let us take p of x as a polynomial equation. Okay. We are going to substitute the numbers 1, 2, 3, etc. When we are substituting these numbers for a particular number, for example for 3, if we get p of 3 is equal to 0, then we can say 3 is the root of the given polynomial equation. So, this is how the trial and error method works. So, see here, now let us see an example. For example, consider this equation 4x cube minus 8x square minus x plus 2 equal to 0. Let this be p of x. Okay. Now, we are going to substitute 1 in this equation. So, 4 into 1 is 4 minus 8 into 1 square is 1, 8 into 1 is 8 minus 1 plus 2. Okay. What is the answer we get? 6 minus 9, which is equal to minus 3, which is not equal to 0. Therefore, 1 is not the root of this given polynomial equation. Okay. Now, let us substitute 2. Okay. 4 into 2 cube is 8 minus 8 into 2 square is 4 minus 2 plus 2. Okay. 8 4 is 32 minus 32 minus 2 plus 2. All the terms gets cancelled. Therefore, the value is 0. Right. If the value is 0, what we can say? This 2 is the root of the given polynomial equation. Root of p of x. Okay. Since this is a cubic equation, we have to find 3 roots. Since 2 is the root of this equation, p of x. So, what we can say? X minus 2 is the factor. If we find the factor, we can solve this equation. How can we solve? We have studied in the last classes. This can be done using the long division method. That is, we have to divide a given polynomial, that is 4x cube minus 8x square minus x plus 2. Okay, by this the factor that we have find, that is x minus 2. Let us solve this. Okay, let us do this division. So, consider the first term. Here it is 4x cube, here it is x. So, multiplying x with 4x square. So, multiply this whole term with the 4x square, 4x cube minus 2 into 4x square is 8 into x square. Okay. Now, change this symbol. This term gets cancelled, this term also gets cancelled. Let us get this down, that is minus 6 plus 2. So, x minus 2 into 1 plus 1 will be, sorry, this will be minus 1. Okay, when we multiply this with minus 1, you get this answer, right? Minus 6 plus 2. Minus 6 plus 2. Change the symbol again. Then, this both terms gets cancelled. The remainder will be 0. Therefore, the other factor is 4x square minus 1 is equal to 0. From this, 4x square is equal to 1. X square is equal to 1 divided by 4. Therefore, the value of x is equal to plus or minus 1 divided by 2. Okay, already we have found 2 as one of its root and we have found the other 2 roots. Therefore, what are the roots? 2 comma 1 by 2 comma minus 1 by 2 is the solution of this given equation. Okay. See how does we do this? We did this by the trial and error method. This is how the trial and error method works. Okay. For this they have given an example. Let us do that. Example 3.25. Solve the equation x cube minus 5x square minus 4x plus 20 equal to 0. Let us consider this equation as t of x. Okay. Now what you are going to do? We are going to use the trial and error method. We are going to substitute the values for x. Let us substitute the value as 1 when x is equal to 1. Therefore, p of 1 will be equal to 1 cube is 1 minus 5 into 1 square is 5 minus 4 into 1 is 4 plus 20. So, what's the answer? 21 minus 9. Okay, this is not equal to 0. Therefore, 1 is not the root of this equation. Now, let us substitute the next term, that is 2, next number. So, 2 cube is 8 minus when x is equal to 2. P of 2 is equal to 2 cube is 8 minus 5 into 2 square, that is 5 into 4, which is equal to minus 20 minus 4 2 is 8 plus 20. See, this term gets cancelled and this term gets cancelled. The value is 0. Therefore, 2 is the root. 2 is the root of the given polynomial equation, that is p of x. Therefore, the factor is x minus 2 is the factor. Then what we can do? See here, it is a cubic equation. Therefore, there must be 3 roots. We have found 1 root. Then again we have to find the other 2 roots. See, how can we do this? We can do this with the help of long division, right? Long division. What's the given polynomial? X cube minus 5x square minus 4x plus 20. We have to divide this with x minus 2. Consider the first term. Here it is x cube and here it is 6. When multiplying x with x square, we get x cube, right? X cube, and again multiplying this with minus 2 into x square. Change the symbol. So this term gets cancelled. Minus 5x square plus 2x square is minus 3x square. Let us get this term down. Minus 4x plus 20. Okay. Now consider this term. Here it is minus 3x square. Here it is only x. See the first term alone. So when multiplying this with minus 3x, that is minus 3x. Multiply this minus 3 into x is minus 3x square. Minus 3x into minus 2 is minus into minus plus 2 into 3 6x. Okay. Now again we are going to change the symbol. This term gets cancelled. Here it is minus 4x. Here it is minus 6x. Therefore minus 10x plus 20. This term gets down. Okay. Now consider this first term. Here it is minus 10x. Here it is only x. When multiplying x with minus 10, what's the answer we get? Minus 10x. Minus 10 to minus 2 is minus into minus plus 20. Again changing the symbol, we get 0 as the remainder. So what's the question we got? X square minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. This is the another factor. See, this factor is in the form of quadratic equation. Now we can find the other 2 roots. So minus 10, factorize it. 5 into 2 is 10. Here we should get minus 10. Therefore minus 5. When adding this, minus 3 will be the answer. Therefore x minus 5 and x plus 2 is the other 2 factors. So what's the 3 roots? The root from this is 5 comma minus 2. The first term we have, first itself we have found another 1 root, that is 2. Therefore 5 comma minus 2 comma 2. These 3 are the roots of this equation. Okay. We have seen an example. Is this possible for all polynomial equation? Now consider, now think about that, okay. Is this possible for all polynomial equation? Suppose here in these 2 examples what we got 2 as one of its factors. So it made it very easy for finding the other 2 roots, okay. Now for some polynomials or for some equations, 7 may be one of the root or 11 may be one of the root. In this condition, in this type, what we have to do? We have to substitute values from 1, 2, 3, etc. till 11. When substituting the 11th term only, we will get the answer. Is this possible? This is waste of time, right, for this types of equation. Since it is easy, we got to a root, so it is easy for substituting and we got the other answers. But for for this types and all, we can't do this. We can't do this trial and error method. It's a waste of time. So it takes lot of time. Okay. So for that, they have introduced one theorem, that is rational root theorem. So what's a rational root theorem? How they are doing this? The important thing in this rational root theorem is leading coefficient. That is coefficient of leading term and the constant term of the given polynomial equation. Okay, with this two alone, we are going to find the root of the given polynomial equation. This is called as rational root theorem. Now let us see the statement. Okay, that is theorem 3.5, rational root theorem. What's the statement they have given? Let an x power n plus up to etc plus a1x plus a not equal to 0 with, they have given a condition with an must not be equal to 0 and a naught must not be equal to 0. Okay, be a polynomial equation with integer coefficients. They are given this is a polynomial equation with integer coefficients. Okay, if p divided by q with p comma q is equal to 1 is the root of the polynomial then p is the factor of a naught, which is the constant term, and q is the factor of a n, which is the coefficient of the leading variable. Okay, what they have given? Let us see the statement. Let a n x power n plus etc plus a1x plus a naught is equal to 0 with a n not equal to 0 and a naught not equal to 0 be a polynomial equation with integer coefficient. They have given a polynomial equation with the leading coefficient and the constant term must not be equal to 0. If p divided by q with p comma q is equal to 1 is the root of the polynomial, if this term, that is p divided by q, is any root of the polynomial, then this p will be the factor of the constant term, that is a naught, and this q will be the denominator. The q will be the factor of the leading coefficient term. Okay, when we see the example, you will understand it. See, for example 2x square minus x plus 2 equal to 0. Suppose this is a polynomial equation. See, a n is not equal to 0 and a naught is not equal to 0. For this, there will be some root p divided by q, where q will be the root of 2. This is a n is equal to 2 and here a naught is also equal to 2. So q will be the factor of a n and p will be the factor of a n. What's the factor of 2? Plus or minus 1, comma plus or minus 2. Here also the factor of 2 is plus or minus 1, comma plus or minus 2. Okay. So from this, p is the factor of plus or minus, p will be the factor of 2 and this q is also will be the factor of 2. So from this, the numerator will be from these 4 terms and the denominator will be any one from these 4 terms. So how can we write this? Plus or minus 1 divided by 2, comma plus or minus 1. These are the possible solutions. This is not the solution, we are just getting the possible solution. Then what we have to do? We have to substitute these 4 terms in the given equation. When we substitute and when we get the answer as 0, that particular term will be the root of the given solution. Okay. So now there is a condition. Suppose when a n is equal to 0, what's a n? A n is the leading coefficient term. Suppose a n is equal to 1. In this condition, what is the meaning of this? When a is equal to that is the leading coefficient is 1 means the polynomial will be the monic polynomial. We have studied in the previous classes. This type of polynomial is called as monic polynomial. In this case, what we have seen in this theorem, rational root theorem, there will be one root p divided by q, where p will be the factor of the constant term and q will be the factor of an. See, what are the factors of an? Plus or minus 1. Here it is 1. Therefore, q will be automatically plus or minus 1. Therefore, the root will be only p. The p must be an integer. Okay? Because the denominator becomes 1, therefore the root will be only p, which will be an integer. Therefore, they have concluded that if the given polynomial is a monic polynomial, that is the greater degrees coefficient is 1 means the root cannot be of the form of rational number. It cannot be of a form of rational number like this. When we get the monic polynomial, when we have to solve the monic polynomial, the roots cannot be in the form of monic number. Sorry, the root cannot be in the form of rational numbers. Okay, now let us move on to the next thing. See, what's the next thing they have given? They have illustrated this, right? They have considered an equation. Consider. What's the equation they have considered? X square minus 5x minus 6 equal to 0. Okay, what's the an terms here? An is equal to 1, and what's the a naught terms equal to 6 minus 6. Okay, minus 6. See, since it is a monic polynomial, we have seen there, right? The polynomial, so the root p divided by q will be here. The 1 will be the factor of 1 will be plus or minus 1. Therefore, this q gets the value 1. Therefore, p will be the root. Only p will be the root. P, what's p? This will be the factor of a naught. What's a naught? Here it is minus 6. Therefore, the factor of this is plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 6. So, we have 8 terms. What we are going to do? We are going to substitute these 8 terms in this equation. Let this be p of x. When p of 1 is equal to 1 square is 1 minus 5 minus 6. Minus 10 is the answer, which is not equal to 0. Then we substitute my p of minus 1. Therefore, minus 1 the whole square is 1 minus 5 into minus 1 is plus 5 minus 6. Therefore, 6 minus 6 equal to 0. So, we have found the one root minus 1, which is the root. Likewise, we have to substitute plus 2 minus 2, plus 3 minus 3 and plus 4 minus 6. Sorry, plus 6 minus 6. When we are substituting p of 6, what's the value we get? 6 square is 36 minus 6 5 is 30 minus 6. This is equal to 36 minus 36, which will be equal to 0. Since this is a quadratic equation, we must have two roots. We have already found one root, that is minus 1. And since this, when substituting 6 in the equation, we get the value 0. Therefore, 6 will be another root. Therefore, the roots of this given equation is minus 1 and 6. Okay. They have also considered another one equation. Consider x square plus 4 equal to 0. See, we found that trial and error method is not applicable for every equation. Similarly, this rational root method, is that applicable for every equation? Let us see here. See here, x square plus 4 is equal to 0. The value of an is equal to 1. The value of a naught is equal to 4. Okay. Since this is 1, the root will be of the format p, which is p is the factor of a naught. The factor of a naught is, the factor of 4 is plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 4. Okay, we got 6 values. Now what we are going to do? We are going to substitute in this. Let us consider this as p of x. P of 1 is 1 plus 4, which is equal to 5. P of minus 1 is, again it's 1 plus 4, which is equal to 5. Okay, then P of 2 is 4 plus 4, which is equal to 8. Again, P of minus 2 also becomes 4 plus 4, which is equal to 8. P of 4 is 16 plus 4 which is equal to 20, and p of minus 4 will also become 16 plus 4 equal to 20. See, in this case we have substituted all the 6 terms, but we don't get the answer, right? Therefore, what they have said is, this rational root theorem will not give the exact solution, it just helps us to find the solution. So, see, for this, through this rational root theorem we can't find the root. Therefore, just rational root theorem will help us to find the solution. It does not give the exact solution of the given polynomial. Now, we are going to move on to the next subdivision. Sorry, that's the example they have given here. Example 3.26. What's this? Solve the equation 2x cube plus 3x square plus 2x plus 3 equal to 0. From this, let this be the equation p of x. Okay. From here, an is equal to 2, a0 is equal to 3. What's the factor of an? Plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2. What's the factor of a0? What's the factor of 3? Plus or minus 1, comma, plus or minus 3. The root will be of the, from the rational root theorem, the root will be of the form p divided by q. P is the factor of 3 and q would be the factor of 2. Okay. From this, we can write plus or minus 1, plus or minus 1 divided by 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 3 divided by 2. Okay. By substituting here the factors, we got this 8 numbers. What we are going to do? We are going to substitute this 8 numbers in the equation p of x. And we substitute like this, p of 1 becomes 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3, which is not equal to 0. P of minus 1 becomes minus 2 plus 3 minus 2 plus 3. Okay. Minus 4 plus 6, which is also not equal to 0. Likewise, we have to substitute all the terms. When substituting, you just substitute and see, I'm skipping the steps. Okay, it's very easy. We have to substitute plus 1 by 2 and then again minus 1 by 2, and again we have to substitute plus 3 and again minus 3. We have to substitute 3 by 2 and minus 3 by 2. I'm just skipping the step and coming to the last term, minus 3 by 2. When substituting this, okay, 2 into x cube. 2 into minus becomes minus 1 cube is minus x cube. 3 cube is 27 divided by 8. Okay. Plus 3 into 9 divided by 4. Okay. Plus 2 into minus, this term becomes minus 2 into 3 divided by 2 is minus 3 plus 3. This term and this term gets cancelled. See here. Now solve this. Just solve this equation. P of minus, that is minus 2. This is 1 and this term it's 4. Okay. Therefore, minus 27 divided by 4 plus 9 into 3 is 27. 27 divided by 4, which is equal to 0. Therefore, minus 3 divided by 2 is one of the root. We found one of the root. Okay. So, what's the factor? X plus 3 divided by 2, which is 2x plus 3 is the factor. So, from this, what we are going to find? Using the long division method, we can find the other two roots. Okay, we are going to divide the given equation with 2x plus 3. What's the given equation? 2x cube plus 3x square plus 2x plus 3. Okay, now do the long division. Here it is 2x, here it is 2x cube. Therefore, multiplying this with x square, 2x cube plus 3 into x square is plus 3x square. Changing the symbols, we get 0, and then getting this down, 2x plus 3. See, here it's 2x plus 3 and here we have 2x plus 3. Multiplying this with 1, 2x plus 3. Changing the symbols again, we get 0 as the remainder. Therefore, x square plus 1 equal to 0 is another one factor. From this we can find the other two roots, right? X square is equal to minus 1. x is equal to root plus or minus root of minus 1. What's the value of root of minus 1? We can say it as I. Therefore, the value of x is equal to plus or minus I. Already we have found one of its roots is minus 3 by 2. Therefore, the three roots are minus 3 by 2 plus I and minus I. Therefore, we have found the solution of this given equation using the rational root theorem. Now, we are going to move on to the next subdivision 3.8.2, that is reciprocal equation. Reciprocal equation should be very easy. Okay. Now, let us consider an equation to x power 6 minus 3x power 5 plus root 2x power 4 plus 7x cube plus root 2x square minus 3x plus 2 equal to 0. Suppose for this polynomial equation, let this be p of x. Okay. For this polynomial equation, if alpha is one of its roots, then what we get when we substitute alpha instead of x, we get the value 0, right? 2 alpha power 6 minus 3 alpha power 5 plus root 2 alpha power 4 plus 7 alpha cube plus root 2 alpha square minus 3 alpha plus 2 should be equal to 0 because alpha is the root. Now, substituting 1 by alpha instead of alpha, what is the answer we get? 1 by alpha. Okay. 2 1 by alpha power 6 minus 3 alpha power 5 plus root 2 alpha divided by alpha power 4 plus 7 divided by alpha cube plus root 2 divided by alpha square minus 3 divided by alpha plus 2 equal to plus 2. Okay. Now take the LCM divided by alpha power 6. LCM will be alpha power 6. So, what's the answer we get in the numerator? 2 minus 3 into alpha plus 2 into alpha square plus 7 into alpha cube plus root 2 into alpha power 4 minus 3 into alpha power 5 plus 2 into alpha square. See, this term is equal to this term, right? 2 alpha square minus 3 alpha power 5 plus 2 root 2 alpha power 4 plus 7 alpha cube plus root 2 alpha square minus 3 alpha plus 2. So, this can be written as 0 divided by alpha square. Therefore, P of 1 by alpha is also equal to 0. Therefore, what we can say, if alpha is the root of the given equation, then 1 by alpha is also the root of the given same equation. Okay. So, this type of equation is called as reciprocal equation. See this equation, the given equation, we can say it as reciprocal equation because if alpha is a root, then 1 by alpha is also the root. Therefore, we are saying this as a reciprocal equation. See, they have also given another one equation 2x power 5 plus 3x power 4 minus 4x cube plus 4x square minus 3x minus 2 equal to 0. Like the same way, what we can do, we can take it as a p of x. And if alpha is a root, means we can substitute alpha instead of x. Then again we can find p of 1 by alpha. Then we can prove that this equation, this equation also will be a reciprocal equation. Okay, reciprocal equation. For this, they have given an important definition. 3.1. What's the given? They have given a polynomial p of x of degree n is said to be a reciprocal polynomial. Reciprocal polynomial equation. Polynomial if one of the following condition satisfies. Is true. What's the conditions they have given? First condition is p of x is equal to x power n into p of 1 by x, and the second condition is p of x is equal to minus x power n into p of 1 divided by x. So what's the definition they have given? A polynomial p of x of degree n is said to be a reciprocal polynomial equation if any one of these conditions is satisfied. What's the condition 1? P of x can be written as which is equal to x power n into p of 1 divided by x. Otherwise, p of x is equal to minus x power n into p of 1 divided by x. If the given polynomial satisfies this first condition, then it is called as type 1 reciprocal equation. If it satisfies the second condition, then the reciprocal equation is said to be type 2 reciprocal equation. Okay, if the polynomial equation satisfies any one of this condition, then we can say it is a reciprocal polynomial equation. If it satisfies this first condition alone, we can say it as type 1 reciprocal polynomial equation, and if it satisfies this second condition alone, we can say it as type 2 reciprocal polynomial equation. Okay, for this they have given a theorem. They have also given the proof, an important theorem, but it will be very easy. Okay, see the theorem. Theorem 3.6. What's the statement they have given? A polynomial equation. On equation an x power n plus an minus 1 x power n minus 1 plus an minus 2 x power n minus 2 plus up to etc. plus a2 x square plus a1x plus a not equal to 0, such that an should not be equal to 0. It's a reciprocal polynomial equation. If and only if the following conditions are, one of the following conditions are satisfied. What are the conditions? In the first condition, an is equal to a naught, an minus 1 will be equal to a1, an minus 2 is equal to a2, etc. And the second condition is an is equal to minus a naught, an minus 1 is equal to minus a1, an minus 2 is equal to minus a2, etc. See the statement what they have given. They have given a polynomial equation an x power n plus an minus 1 x power n minus 1 plus an minus 2 x power n minus 2 etc. plus a2 x square plus a1 x plus a naught is equal to 0, such that the first term an should not be equal to 0. We can say this is a reciprocal polynomial equation if and only if any of the two given conditions satisfies. What's the first condition? An is equal to a naught, an minus 1 is equal to a1, n minus 2 is equal to a2, etc. And the second condition is an is equal to minus a naught, an minus 1 is equal to minus a1, an minus 2 is equal to minus a2, etc. Okay, what's the given polynomial equation? Let us take that as p of x. An x power n plus an minus 1 x power n minus 1 an minus 2 x power n minus 2 plus up to etc. plus a2 x square plus a1x plus a not equal to 0. See, this is, let us take that as the polynomial equation p of. Now we are going to find p of 1 divided by x. What we are going to do? We are going to substitute 1 by x instead of x in this equation. That is an divided by x power n plus an minus 1 divided by x power n minus 1 plus an minus 2 divided by x power n minus 2 plus up to etc. plus a2 divided by x square plus a1 divided by x plus a naught. Okay, this will be the equation we will get when we substituting 1 by x instead of x. Then what we get, let us multiply x power n with this above equation. Okay, what will we get is a naught x power n plus a1 x power n minus 1 plus a2 x power n minus 2 plus up to etc. plus a n minus 2 into x square plus a n minus 1 into x plus a n x naught. Okay, which is equal to 0. Right, and we are multiplying this with x power n. See, when we multiply this with x power n, this term and this term can cancel. Therefore, we will get a naught x naught. Okay, and then when we are multiplying this with x power n, see what will we get in the remainder, sorry, in the up a n minus 1 into only x term we will get. Like this, we have to multiply the whole terms with x power n. Okay, let this be the first equation, this be the second equation, and let this be the third equation. See here, consider the first equation and the third equation, the both are same, right? First equation is equal to third equation, they both are same. Then how can we write? We can write this as a n divided by a naught equal to a n minus 1 divided by a1 will be equal to up to a2 divided by a n minus 2 a1 divided by a n minus 1 equal to a naught divided by a n. Okay, we know what's the condition that should be satisfied for the equation to be a reciprocal equation, that is p of x should be equal to plus or minus x power n into p of 1 divided by x. Right, this is any one of the conditions should be satisfied for a polynomial equation to be a reciprocal polynomial equation. Since from this 1 and 2 we can see that they both are reciprocal polynomial equation, therefore we are getting like this. Okay, now what you are going to do is, we are taking the value of proportion as lambda. See this, they are in some ratio format, right? So we are taking the value of proportion as lambda. Therefore, consider the first term and last term, a n divided by a naught is equal to lambda, and then a naught divided by a n will be equal to lambda. On multiplying these two terms, what will we get? A n divided by a naught into a naught divided by a n is equal to lambda square. Therefore, lambda square's value will be 1. From this, lambda's value will be plus or minus 1. Okay. See, there will be two cases. When lambda's value is 1, what will be the answer we will get, and when the lambda's value is minus 1, what will be the answer we get. See the first case, when lambda's value is 1, what will we get? A naught, say a n equal to a naught, a n minus 1 equal to a1, comma, a n minus 2 equal to a2, like this we will get up to etc. Right, we will get like this when lambda's value is 1. Since lambda's value is, this can be said as the value of the coefficient. Okay, what's the given equation? A n x power n plus a n minus 1 x power n minus 1 up to etc. a1 x plus a naught equal to 0. See here, the value of the coefficient of the terms from the starting term is equal to the value of the coefficients of this equation in the ending term. See here, a n is equal to a naught, a n minus 1 is equal to a1. The next term will be a n minus 2 will be equal to a2, like this. That is, the value of the coefficient from the starting term is equal to the value of the coefficient from the ending term. In this case, this type of equation is said to be type 1 reciprocal equation. We have already seen what's type 1 reciprocal equation and what's type 2 reciprocal equation. This type of equation is said to be type 1 reciprocal equation. And let us move on to the case 2. Case 2 is when lambda's value is minus 1. What will be the answer they will get? an is equal to minus a naught, an minus 1 is equal to minus a1, comma an minus 2 is equal to minus a2 up to etc. See, this equation, these terms can be said as the coefficients from the starting term is equal to the coefficient from the ending term, but not in signs. Okay, they are equal in the magnitude, but they are in the opposite signs, right? See, an is equal to a naught, but an is equal to minus a naught here. Therefore, the coefficient from the starting term is equal in magnitude to the coefficient equal, and in magnitude and in opposite in signs to the coefficients in the ending term. Okay, this is how we are concluding this theorem. Okay, now they have given some remarks which will be very useful for you to solve the equations. So what they have given is, first remark is reciprocal equation cannot have zero as roots, zero as solution or roots. That is, any reciprocal equation cannot have zero as roots. It may have 1 by 2 anything, but it cannot have 0 as one of its roots. And then see, in the reciprocal equation, the coefficient terms and the constant terms are not restricted to real. It means that the coefficient terms of the reciprocal equation and the constant terms of the reciprocal equation need not be real. They may be rational or any other thing. Okay, and in the third, they have given a statement: if p of x is equal to 0 is a polynomial equation such that alpha is a root and 1 by alpha is also a root, then p of x comma 0 is a reciprocal equation. They have given a statement. Is this true for everything? So what they have given? They have given a polynomial equation. For this polynomial equation, if we have alpha and 1 by alpha is 2 of its roots, then we cannot say p of x is a reciprocal equation. For example, let us consider an equation 2x cube minus 9x square plus 12 minus 4 equal to 0. See, here it is a cubic equation. The roots of this equation is 2, 1 by 2. That is, it's in the form of alpha and 1 by alpha, right? Or 2 of its roots. See, the roots of this equation is 2, 1 by 2. Is this a reciprocal equation? So what will be condition that we have to prove for a reciprocal equation? That is, x power n into p of 1 divided by x is equal to plus or minus p of x. This is p of x. See, it is of order n, so order 3. Therefore, we have to prove that x cube into p of 1 divided by x is equal to plus or minus p of x. That when we multiply this equation with x cube, and when we consider this equation as a reciprocal equation, that means when we are changing x as 1 by x, and then when we multiply this with x cube, we do not get this polynomial equation. Therefore, this is not a reciprocal equation. Therefore, this condition is not true for every polynomial equations. Also, they have given 4 important points. It should be easy for you to find the solutions in this reciprocal subdivision. See here, when equations of odd degree reciprocal equation which is of type 1 means, what will we get? The value will be, one of its roots will be minus 1. Okay, when the equation is the odd degree reciprocal equation of type 2, okay, it's of type 2 means, then one of its root will be 1. when it is of even degree reciprocal equation of type 2 with the condition that center term should be equal to center is 0. 0 means then x is equal to 1 and x is equal to minus 1 will be its roots, and with this we can find the other other roots. This will be the two roots of the given equation. We can, with this help, we can find the other roots. When it is a even degree reciprocal equation, okay, reciprocal equation, even degree reciprocal equation, then what we can do is we can substitute 1x plus 1 by x or x minus 1 by x as y. Then what we obtain is we obtain half degree polynomial equation of the given half degree polynomial to the given polynomial. See, if we get a even degree polynomial equation, reciprocal polynomial equation, then what we are going to do is we are going to substitute x plus 1 by x or x minus 1 by x instead of y. Then what we will obtain is, if it is of degree 4 polynomial, we will obtain an equation of degree 2. From this we can find the roots. Okay, see, let us see the example and you can easily understand this. See, they have considered an equation 6x power 6 minus 35 x power 5 plus 56 x power 4 minus 56 x square plus 35 x minus 6 is equal to 0. See the degree, it's of even degree. Is this of type 1 or type 2? See here it is plus and here it is minus, here it is minus, here it is plus, and here it is plus, here it is minus. Therefore, this equation is of type 2, even degree type 2. What's the solution? See here, even degree reciprocal equation of type 2 with center term 0. Here we don't have x cube term, the coefficient of x cube term is 0. Therefore, what we can get, the on two roots will be x is equal to 1 and x is equal to minus 1. Okay, what's the answer? What's the factors? X minus 1 into x plus 1, which is equal to x square minus 1. Okay, see, we found a factor. So with this we are going to use the long division method, that is 6x power 6 minus 35x power 5 plus 56x power 4 minus 56x squared plus 35x minus 6. We are going to divide this given polynomial equation with the factor x square minus 1. Consider the first term. When we are multiplying this term with 6x power 4, we get 6x power 6 minus 1 into this term is minus 6 power x power 4. Change the symbol here. This term gets cancelled. Here it is of minus x power 5, 35 x power 5. Okay. See, plus 56 x power 4 plus 6 x power 6. Therefore, we have to add this. When we are adding this will be 62 x power 4. Let us get these terms down. See, the first term here, it is minus 35 x power 5. Here it is x square. When multiplying this with minus 35 x cube, we get minus 35 x power 5. Minus into minus is plus 35 x cube. Says the symbols again. This term gets cancelled. Here it is of x power 4, 62 x power 4. Here it is minus and here it is also by minus. We have to add this 11, 8, 9. Yes, 91. Sorry. See here, we don't have x cube term yet. Therefore, this term gets down as it is. 35 x cube minus 56 x square plus 35 x minus 6. See the first term again. Here it is 62 x power 4. Here it is only x square plus 62 x square. Therefore, 62 x power 4 minus 1 into this term is minus 62 x square. This term change the symbol, this term gets cancelled. Here it is minus 35 x cube as it is. Here it is minus 56 x square and here it is plus 62 x square. So on my subtracting this, what we will get? Plus 6 x square, right? 6 x square plus 35 x minus 6. So consider this term. Here it is minus 35 x square x cube. Here it is x square alone. Multiplying this with minus 35 x. What we will get? Minus 35 x cube plus 35 x. Therefore 6 x square. Change the symbol again. This term and this term gets cancelled. 6 x square minus 6. So in multiplying this with plus 6, we get the remainder as 0. So what's the quotient we got? So the quotient term we got is 6x power 4 minus 35 x cube plus 62x square minus 35x plus 6 is equal to 0. This will be one of its factor. Okay. Now divide this term by x square. What will get? 6x square minus 35 when dividing this by x square. Okay, minus 35x plus 62 minus 35 divided by x plus 6 divided by x square equal to 0. Okay, now pair this all x square terms divided by x square. This term and this term. Minus 35 gets outside, x plus 1 by x and plus 62 equal to 0. Let us take x plus 1 by x is equal to u. Okay, when x plus 1 by x the whole square, what's the value? X square plus 1 by x square plus 2 into x into 1 by x becomes this term alone. We want this term alone. Therefore, we are taking this to this side. It becomes minus 2. What will be the answer here? 6 into u square minus 2 minus 35u plus 62 equal to 0. Solve this. 6u square minus 12 minus 35u plus 62 equal to 0. 6u square minus 35u, okay, plus 50, right, equal to 0. We have to factorize this. 50 into 6 is 300. So how can we factorize this? 20 into 15 is 300. We have to get minus 35. When we put minus here, when we adding this, we get minus 35 divided by 6 here, divided by 6 here. This will be 2 and here it is 5. Here it is 10 and here it is 3. What's the other two roots? 3u minus 10 into 2u minus 5 equal to 0. What's the value of u? U will be equal to 10 divided by 3 and 5 divided by 2. Okay, see, when u's value is 10 divided by 3, we know u is equal to x plus 1 by x. This is equal to x square plus 1 divided by x. When u's value is 10 divided by 3, substitute here, what we will get? 10x is equal to 3x square plus 3. 3x square minus 10x plus 3 equal to 0. We have to factorize this. Okay, 9 into 1 divided by 3. 1, 3. Therefore, what's the factor here? X minus 3 and 3x minus 1 equal to 0. So, what's the solution we got from this? 3 comma 1 by 3. When u is equal to 5 divided by 2. So, we are substituting this. 5 divided by 2 will be equal to x square plus 1 divided by x. Therefore, 5x is equal to 2x square plus 2. 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 equal to 0. We have to factorize this. That is 2 into 2 is 4. Okay, 4 into 1. Here it is minus 5. Therefore minus. We have to divide this by 2. 1, 2. What's the factors we get? X minus 2 into 2x minus 1 equal to 0. From this we got the value of x as 2 comma 1 by 2. Already we got the value of x as plus or minus 1. Therefore the values of the roots of this equation are plus or minus 1, 3 comma 1 by 3, 2 comma 1 by 2. We got the 6 roots. Okay, this is how we are going to find the equation, the roots of this reciprocal equation. Still we have only 2 examples. Consider let us see the example 3.27. Solve the equation 7x cube minus 43x square is equal to 43x minus 7. See here, let us take these two terms this side. Minus 43x plus 7 equal to 0. So this is a reciprocal equation, right? This is a reciprocal equation of odd degree with type 1, which is of the equation of type 1. Therefore, what will be the solution? X is equal to minus 1, right? X is equal to minus 1. What's the factor? X plus 1. Divide this with x plus 1. 7x cube minus 43x square minus 43x plus 7. We are going to divide with this factor x plus 1. Divide this. What's the answer we get? See this first equation. So here it comes minus 50x or minus 50x square. See here it is minus, here it is plus. Therefore plus 50. Change this symbol again. Therefore 7x plus 7. We get 0. Okay, we got 0, right? So what's the factor we got here? What's the factor we got here? 7x square minus 50x plus 7 equal to 0. We are going to factorize this. 7 into 7 is 49. 49 into 1. We should get, when we are adding this, we should get minus 50. Therefore minus 50 divided by 7. What's the value here? 1, 7. Therefore x minus 7 into 7x minus 1 is equal to 0. We already got one of its roots, that is minus 1. That another two roots are 7 comma 1 by 7. Therefore minus 1, 7 comma 1 by 7 are the three roots of the given equation. So the example 3.28, what they have